So, is the economy strong or is the economy not strong? I feel like I, as a mere civilian, am getting very contradictory information, right? On one hand, you were just talking about strong corporate earnings. Feels like we're pretty close to full employment. Wages are up in a lot of jobs that hadn't seen wage growth in a really long time. And yet, we're talking about recession, inflation, and consumer confidence, falling to the floor. So, how is it possible to have a strong economy and also have a weak economy simultaneously?
Yeah, well, it's a great question, and it is an interesting thing to try to reconcile. If you look at a lot of the traditional measures of economic performance right now, manufacturing, the employment market, et cetera, there's a lot of things that look very strong, that look really good. In fact, the best in decades in many situations. But sentiment, consumer sentiment, and of course, investor sentiment, as we've seen over the course of the last few months, is really poor. Now, why is that? Well, one of the biggest reasons is inflation. Inflation is really impactful on consumer sentiment. It makes people feel really crummy when they watch the price of gas go up, a couple dollars a gallon at their local gas station, or when they go to the grocery store and all of a sudden their bill's 10 or 15% higher than it was the last time they went. uh, it really has a big psychological impact, not just on consumers, but also on business leaders and CEOs. I mean, you've heard a lot of prominent CEOs out there talking about how worried they are about things, and it's largely because of the impact of inflation. Now, how does this get reconciled? Well, obviously, we don't know what the future holds. And part of what the Fed is trying to do is to tamp down some of the excesses in terms of the economy. They can affect things like the housing market pretty quickly by raising interest rates will typically lower the pace of the housing market quite a bit. Other parts of the economy aren't so sensitive to interest rates, and so it remains to be seen over the coming months how much of an impact these changes are actually going to have on the real economy.